Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'm your host, Greg Martin. You know, one of the first questions I ask divers when I meet them is what inspired them to learn to dive? It's also the same question, the same basic question that we ask new students coming into class for the very first time. What is it about this blue world that just helps drive people into its depths? Well, this week I wanted to share some thoughts on that from my perspective. Most of the older divers I speak with, though, tend to give me pretty much the same answer. Yep, the TV show Sea Hunt. Actor Lloyd Bridges as Mike Nelson. That's usually the top answer I get, and in my case it was as well. I finally remember watching the shows and begging for a set of fins and a mask. We used to call them flippers, didn't we? A lot of people back then, though, got a hold of a record, Hear How to Dive. It was a record that was written by Bill Barata and voiced by, Mike Nelson himself, Lloyd Bridges. I managed to find a copy a few years ago, and it's really interesting to listen to. Here's a quick clip.
The last, but probably the most important item on your list is a diving buddy. Never dive alone. Don't let the fact that I often dive alone on my television series fool you. I have to get into some kind of trouble or there'd be no story. And how could scriptwriters get me into so much trouble if I were never alone? You are not trying to get into trouble, so take a buddy.
Another program that has been a major inspiration for a lot of older divers was The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau. Many divers never missed an episode as Twilight Zone's Rod Serling, remember that, narrated the continuing adventures of one of the fathers of the diving industry. Another show that really inspired me to be a diver, oddly enough, was the Universal horror show, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I know it's kind of strange that a show about an amphibious monster would attract me, but nonetheless, I never missed a chance to watch it on the Late Late Show. I've always been fascinated by the suit that Rico Browning wore, swimming and fighting with the divers, and of course, swimming with the beautiful Julie Adams, all the while holding his breath. Absolutely astounding. Rico, if you're listening, you are still my hero. And give me a call here, would you? In addition to the creature's underwater fight scene, there was also the James Bond movie Thunderball.
Dr. No, big, from Russia with love, bigger, Goldfinger, even bigger. Now, here comes the biggest Bond of all, Thunderball.
And once again, Rico Browning was an integral part of that underwater scene as well. Other things like Flipper and many others there. You know, younger divers tend to give me a myriad of answers to my inquiry about what led them to diving. There's the excitement, the thrill. I get movie answers about like the abyss, and some little older divers say the deep. Some answers are because my buddy was a diver, or we got certified on vacation. Now, I do get a few answers from time to time about people watching some of the newer reality shows like Deep Sea Detectives or The Curse of Oak Island, but still nothing that comes close to the impact that a show like Sea Hunt and The Undersea World of Jacques Cousteau had on the diving populace years ago. You know, whatever your reason, though, is for becoming a diver, as a diver, I feel it's really important that we share that enthusiasm and that excitement with our new students and with new divers if you're not an instructor. I always tell people that they should come on in, the water's just fine. And if you are one of those people out there thinking about getting certified, be sure and check out your local NAUI dive shop. They can get you all set and ready to fight the creature if you have to. And that's it for this week's episode of NAUI's Dive Team Report. I hope you enjoyed it. I had fun looking back. I'm Greg Martin. Thanks for listening to NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'll see you underwater.